Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh,
God! Chubs Gone Wild!
Hey there, welcome to Chubs Gone Wild, episode 597. It is Tuesday, June 30th, 2025, the last day of Pride Month for 2025. And we hope not the last day of Pride, any Pride Month ever. Yeah. Anyway, it is 96 degrees and sunny outside of Chubland, where it is 123 days till Halloween, 178 until Christmas, and let's see, just 4 days, only 4 days until Independence Day, when we are independent.
It's interesting that it sounded like you were trying to add that up in your head, even though it says it right here on the page.
Well,
4 days. That's really hard either way.
I was trying to think of,
Was something clever?
Be independent at some point. Are we really independent anymore? Anyway,
well, don't forget there's the big Independence Day march coming up. To be something like the No Kings March,
yes.
because people are claiming their independence from this person.
Tyranny. Yeah. We'll see. It is time for our affirmation. Are you ready for this? Of course you are. Working together is part of a purpose of life, the purpose of life. I learned so much through cooperating with others. Well, we all need to cooperate if we're
well cooperate is not really a word that you work with a stick of like you've got the ruler. No, this is the right way. I see.
I try not to do that
anymore.
Yeah. Well, when you have a cast of 10 people who all have opinions on how it would be so much better, no. Yeah, just no.
Yeah.
But I do try to not be so rigid as I used to be. Anyway, let's talk about Patreon, though. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like my Life in Fragments podcast, books, videos, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Sausage from the Universe, Scott, Eric, Sean, Charles, Phoenix Dave, Brother Sinatus, Kingsley, Kathy Bacon, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can add your name to that list for as little as $1 a month. Now, let's get into some very interesting bits of history. On June 30th, 1905, Albert Einstein publishes a paper that sets out his theory of special relativity. His groundbreaking work shatters the foundations of physics. While in Germany, Hitler orders a bloody purge of his own political party, assassinating hundreds of Nazis whom he believed had the potential to become political enemies in the future. The event became known as the Night of Long Knives. So everybody beware tonight. I'm just saying. Also, Margaret Mitchell's Gone with the Wind, one of the best-selling novels of all time, and the basis for a blockbuster 1939 movie, was published on June 30th, 1936. So there you go.
I remember my mother telling me that um, they really, because there was always a thing. Oh, who's going to play, Scarlett O'Hara,
Mhm.
and that was huge in the Hollywood trades,
Yeah.
and she said everybody went out and bought that book, and when the movie came out, movies were like 25 cents, 50 cents. You had to pay like $2 to get into Gone with the Wind.
Wow.
It was,
Wow.
yeah, it was much higher, at least where she was, and she was in Los Angeles at that time, I think.
Hmm.
Well, maybe not. Anyway, but I've never heard about that. The knife of the night of long knives.
Yeah, there was Kristallnacht, which is the Night of Broken Glass. It's a night that they went around and smashed up and vandalized all the Jewish shots, and then the Night of Long Knives, which obviously you just heard about. And so those are two of the big, like, they nights that actually had titles because they were so egregious. Oh, yeah. Scary shit. Watch out, Jason Miller. Oh, I didn't say anything. All right, let's see. Well, let's see if we celebrated any holidays, accidentally or otherwise. Today is National Asteroid Day. Did you celebrate any asteroids?
Um, well, I did get up to go pee in the morning, and fortunately,
Okay.
was sitting down because I had, let's say,
Yeah.
very airy asteroids.
Okay. Well, there you go. It's also National Sailor Moon Day. I've never sailed a moon. Um, and
Well, one
National
sat on you, though. I know that.
mm, Mr. Mr. National Meteoroid Day, which is different from asteroids.
Oh,
Um,
that's interesting that they make them share the same day. That's terrible.
yeah. And then it's National OOTD Day. Uh, uh, okay. On the other day? I don't know. Also, it's National Organization for Women. I don't know if I necessarily celebrated, but I think that's a wonderful day. Take my children to work.
Ugh.
No, thank you. Although technically, but I don't want to be disgusting on this show. All right, it's also social media day. Done. I've done a lot of that this morning.
So did you ever work in a situation where people brought their kids to work?
Thank goodness, no. Now,
It
I have had like where just people would randomly, I couldn't find a babysitter, and yeah, that was annoying as well, but not a sanctioned, no.
Yeah, it was. So they bring the kids in. Kids are bored shitless.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Fortunately, VPD showed a movie and they set up all sorts of stuff for the kids to do. But
Right.
if you didn't have that, they were just a nuisance. And
Right. And
then and
yeah.
then they let the family, the kids and the parents leave after lunch, which was the only good part.
All the rest of you had to sit there and work.
Yeah, we had to stay
Yeah.
and work because we didn't have children. Ugh,
Mhm. Yeah,
ugh.
I can see if they have if you have a work environment that where they set up something and they keep them occupied and away from the people that don't want to deal with them.
Like a Disney
That's
cruise.
yeah, that's one thing. But when you bring your kid to work so that they can sit at your desk and annoy the hell out of people because they're bored, just no, no. Anyway, but speaking of birthdays, which is what we're doing now, uh, happy birthday to Craig the Freaky Cannon, who turns old today. Just saying.
Wait,
Yeah,
what's he turn?
old.
What age is that?
I don't know. I think he's at least 1 or 2 years older than me. So yeah, old.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, great.
yeah. No, but yeah, it's his birthday today, so want to make sure that he feels celebrated. Celebrate. It's also happy birthday to Alan, who's I think he is, a really cool guy, but I think it says he's turning 82. So I don't know if he necessarily listens, but Happy damn birthday for getting to 82. That's awesome. All right, other birthdays we have coming up. We have Rick, Michael, Mark, our listener to the show, Mark. Hi, Mark. We also have Adam and Ike, Zach. Oh, brother Sinatus turning 72 years old. Oh, should I have said that? I don't know. But happy birthday, brother Sinatus. That
Are you
rock.
going to call him old too?
No, I'm gonna say he's got 2 more years to retirement, so he better keep going.
Wait, 72?
Yeah, isn't 74 the new retirement age now?
No, it's still 65.
I don't know, girl, because you
Well,
don't get certain benefits unless you keep on going. Uh,
okay.
I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, also happy birthday to musical artist George Alley, who is the former I'm Going to Kill You podcaster. We also have Quentin and Best of Broadway founder Mr. David L. McDonald, who turns 80 years old today. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, everybody. Hope that you are doing really well and having a wonderful exiting of the birth canal. So not stolen, I swear. And have a good cake corner day. Didn't steal that either. And also happy birthday
Jesus.
to Nephi. Happy birthday, Nephi. So nothing in our feed bag, but we do have some chub hugs that we want to send out, and I know that Tom wants to start first.
You know you're wrong.
Uh,
Well, I do. There one chub hug. I want to send out to Moose. I'm sure he's so sad that Thomerson, Thomas, or Tom Trillish. Anyway, his senator is stepping down, and I know he's a big
oh,
fan. He's not a big fan. He's not a big fan.
oh, okay.
No,
I was like, oh,
yeah, but he's stepping down because he's not going to cripple his state. I mean, this is weird for a GOP. He doesn't want to cripple the state. He'd rather not run for office again, and so Trump can't fuck with him.
oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no. Actually, I want to send a chub hug out to all the people that are going to be affected by that big, beautiful bill that's probably going to go through, and how it's going to affect people. You know, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because almost everything in there is pointed directly at me.
Well, I know it goes towards basically it goes after.
Everybody that's not a rich, white,
Okay, yeah, that's the
straight
way. Yeah,
heterosexual. Yeah.
if
Cisgender.
you're not making $200,000 a year,
Yeah.
it's going towards you. If you're making less than 20,000 a year,
Mhm.
it kicks you in the balls and drags you around.
Right. So, I mean, I make under $10,000 a year. I pay a lot in taxes and on that. And now I'm going to be paying not only more taxes, but I'm going to have more stuff stripped away. Also, not probably going to not have healthcare or uh, food subsidies or healthcare subsidies for, you know, and who knows what's going to happen with Social Security. And not to mention that my main client is a person is a uh, Black health gay organization.
Oh my God,
It's just
that's
like, hey, let's look at this person's life and fuck everything that he
yeah.
does.
Well,
Not
no,
to
it's just
mention the gay rights, not to mention the transgender friends, not to mention.
well the fact that you're you retiring is to the point of where you might not be able to do it.
Oh yeah, it's
Um,
probably not
you,
gonna
you,
happen.
yeah, and then you've got the fact that the ICE is coming after anybody that's black or brown. They don't care if they're in this country legally, born in this country, been his family has been here for 200 years. If
Yeah.
they're black and brown, we need them to go away.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
how many times have we heard throughout our life with people that we know who are all like, oh, that the Jewish thing, oh, that couldn't happen again. And it's like, it is fucking happening. Just because it's brown people, it's fucking happening. Lives are being destroyed. Like people that are here legally born here. It's
They're just think of, if you heard, oh, they're rounding people up and sending them to
yeah,
camps, you'd go, oh, you're talking about the Nazi thing. Oh no, that's on the news tonight.
right. And now
Just
there's a
listen to the
camp,
wording, people. The
yeah,
wording's right there.
and there's a camp being built in Florida right now that they expect to be open like next month.
Well, and that's what they've been talking about for a long time,
Yeah.
since the prison systems are so profitable
Hmm.
that if you build a camp or a prison, they'll fill it for you, and
Yep.
then they're going to pay you to hold those people. They're not going to pay you a lot, but they're going to pay you, and you're not going to use that money on the people, and so you get
Right.
all that it's just a one big beautiful butt fuck.
And then you can hire those people out as slaves. Sorry, but that's the truth. Not sugarcoating it.
Okay, so what's your chub hug?
Oh, to everybody that just had to listen to that and go and have a wake up call, which on our show, probably not that many, but maybe there's a few that maybe just needed to hear that. Anyway, let's get into news.
Wait,
Tell
you're
me what that
drafting off
latest
of
one
my
is.
chub hug?
Yeah, you just gave a chub hug, didn't
No,
you?
you just drafted off mine.
Oh, no,
Yes. Yeah.
no,
Oh God.
no.
Okay.
Anyway, that was the news.
No, that wasn't the news. That was
Yeah.
chub hugs. You don't have
Oh,
any news.
that's true. I don't, but I was trying to, gracefully
Yeah, draft
say that.
off of my chub hug and call it the news now.
Well, I thought it was very newsworthy. Yeah,
Uh,
it's very, very astute. What's in
so
the news?
how do
Well,
you feel about Newsom suing Fox News?
oh, absolutely go for it. Someone said, he's sometimes kind of a slime ball, but at least he's our slime ball. He's doing it for mostly the right reasons.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely a valid lawsuit. Do it. I'm tired of Fox News getting away with saying, "Oh, we're just entertainment," and presenting themselves like they're actual news.
Oh, and Jesse Waters is the worst.
Oh my God, that little closeted kid.
Smug bastard. Ugh.
Yeah, and he's obsessed with shit. Have you seen some of the stuff that he does with like the oh my God, somebody drank out of a straw. That's like he's a closet homosexual. He drank out of a straw. Like, how the fuck do you drink your shakes? Oh, I just shove it in my face and get a big milk mustache like a man. Right. He is so egregiously disgusting. Yeah.
Well, since we're can I talk about dead people?
Well, sure. I was gonna say the only other thing in the news was the idiot kid that ambushed the two fire people today. And
Three,
was it three? I
three,
didn't.
three,
Yeah.
three. He
Okay.
only killed two of them.
Oh, well, there you go. Mega parents, of course, probably gave him the guns. So anyway, that was the news. Now, Tom, speaking of dead people, apparently, Tom wants to talk to you about some very sad this time celebrity deaths.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because last time it was like major players, and these are
Yeah.
major players, just not quite as major as they were. And by the way, somebody posted yesterday that Dick Van Dyke died, and he just missed a party. Okay,
Oh
he
my
missed a
God.
party because he was ill, and it's like they're going, oh, he's dead. It's like, okay, anyway,
Assholes.
yeah. Bobby Sherman,
Hmm.
who he died at 81. Those I don't know. Actually, our our listeners are they're all around our age, so they know who Bobby Sherman is.
Yeah.
He was not just a pop singer, but he was also an actor. And if you remember, Here Comes the Brides.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was one of Jana's favorite shows, and she loved Bobby Sherman. So
Mm.
when I was in Los Angeles and I was working at the Valley West Theater that I managed, Bobby Sherman came in, and Jana came over. I called her and I said, Bobby Sherman's here. His movie gets out at blah, blah, blah. And so she was there, and she got to see Bobby Sherman and his choker because he was famous for his chokers across the lobby. It was, you know, I
Aw.
love when I could do something special for someone. Uh,
Yeah.
but that was yeah, that was a fun little memory. But he died at 81. Uh, Richard Hurst, best known as Deputy. Uh, see, I don't
Cletus
watch.
Hogg.
Okay, I figured you'd know.
Yeah.
From Dukes of Hazzard, he died at 79 years.
Hmm.
Bill Moyer, elder statesman of PBS journalism, he died at 91.
Wow.
Lalos Schifrin, prolific film composer, who's best known for his composition of Mission Impossible's dun dun
Wow.
dun 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 theme. He died at 93. It was funny because Brian has always been upset that every time he gets a nomination, he never wins.
Oh.
Um, so quite a bit like Diane Warren, also in the film composing. But both of them thankfully have gotten honorary Oscars. So he got one back in, I think it was 17.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah, so that was good. Singer Rebecca Del Rio, known for her performance in the Mulholland Drive movie. She passed away at the age of 57.
Wow.
Uh, Paul Libin,
Mm.
best. He's a producer of more than 250 Broadway and off-Broadway and touring productions.
Whew.
Led The Circle and the Square, and passed away at 94. He was probably just tired.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, he oh my God, it was crazy how much he did. And actually I've been in the Circle on the Square Theater, and it's fantastic. I
Mm.
saw Rocky Horror there back in 2000.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, and the cast was, oh my God, really? All those people? Um, anyway, Walter Scott Jr., vocalist for the Whispers, he died yesterday at 81.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. That was some icons. I mean, people you may not readily know their names, but just really iconic
Well,
people.
but because you know their work if you don't know their
Yeah.
names.
Well, and now Tom wants to cheer you up by talking about some of the stuff that he did this week.
Well, Twin Paranormals on YouTube did post another uh, 2 hour plus movie, and they went to it's in a doll. Well, it's a house that has a collection of dolls, old dolls, and they're all, a lot of them are thought to be possessed. So they spent 2 days in it. They actually, oh, I don't want to give anything away, but it got really scary. The last hour just got kind of upsetting, scary. Um,
Hmm.
so let's see. On RuPaul's Drag Race, we finished the third bracket, and that ended up being Ginger, Dinah, Diabetes, and Cha Cha, Cuckoo. Sorry, not Cha Cha, Cuckoo. Uh, she's the one that always goes, "You want to see my cuckoo?"
Okay, yeah, I know
So,
her.
and it was surprising because everyone thought it was going to be the ice skater. I can't think of her name. I should have written it down, but I thought she was going to get in, but no, it ended up being Cuckoo. So this
Diabetes gonna be here in a couple weeks.
yeah, I the thing I don't like about the drag things is it's not like when the drag queens, I went to see Bianca, and I went to see uh um Jinx,
Mhm.
and we missed Monet when she was here a couple months ago. But when they do a comedy show, you get them they're talking to you, they're having a good time. So many of these drag queen shows, they're because I went to see Willems when he was here, and it
Mhm.
consisted of him lip syncing to 3 songs and taking pictures. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, no, no. I want to be. I want these guys to be as fantastic as they are when they're on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Right.
And it seems lazy if they're giving me, they're charging me $35 to go and watch them lip sync 3 songs.
Hmm.
No, 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 no.
Yeah,
That's not right.
you got to see the world, the WERK. You know which one I'm talking about?
No.
It's the RuPaul
Oh,
work
okay.
world. And I mean, I watched one of the performances, like the whole show that was put up on YouTube. Incredible. Absolutely beyond what you expect from a drag show. You're just like, no, that is a performance.
Well, you go down to Las Vegas and see
Mhm.
RuPaul's Drag Race, and they have 5 queens that are from from the show, and then they've got another one that's hosting. Sometimes actually Carson's gone. He's hosted before, and so they bring other people in to host, but they always have 5 well-known drag queens. And they do and basically it's a competition, and the audience gets to pick who's the winner at the end of the 90 minutes, but it's a full show.
Oh.
You're getting something for your money, and it was fantastic. And that's I just hate this lazy, oh, I'm going to go out there and lip sync, and then I'm going to go back to my hotel.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's just me. But so anyway, now this coming up week, I guess on the 4th, this is when the 9 contestants from all 3 brackets get to meet for the first time. So
Mhm.
it'll be interesting to see what Mistress tries to pull, because she'll go
Yeah.
after Ginger, because Ginger and the Eileen the alien, or Eileen, yeah,
Irene. Yeah.
Irene the alien, yeah, they're the leaders with, they all had 3 wins. So,
Mhm.
and Mistress had 1, and she's still pissed about that. So we'll see what happens.
Ugh.
Let's see, this week on Poker Face, it was cool. It was Redman, the rapper. He's running a gym, and Jason Ritter is in it. He plays one of the patrons, but he wants to build up because he's going to his class reunion, and he wants to be, all built up for take on his bully if he has to. It's like men are silly. And so and things happened, and then of course Natasha comes in and solves the mystery. So always a good show. They're so funny, and what I love is they start out kind of giving you an idea of what's going to happen before she even shows up in the show. But she's always adjacent somewhere in the storyline. We just didn't see her in the first like 10-15 minutes of the show. And then all of a sudden, oh, that's because she was working next door, or she's living next door to the person who got killed, one of those things. So it's
Mhm.
really interesting, really fun show. Let's see, still watching The Snake over on Fox, which is basically another summer camp thing where they bring in contestants and then they weed them out. But the part I hate about that is all the transitions in the show. When we transition from one scene to another, they've got to show us snakes. Yeah,
No.
I know. Just different snakes, more snakes, all too many snakes.
Ugh.
Yeah. So still watching Stick and Murderbot over on Apple TV. Murderbot. This is the season finale coming up this week.
Good.
Um,
Then I can
uh,
watch it.
and then on the Gilded Age, that's starting up over on Max.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I was watching the WoW report, and Tom Campbell is talking about, you know, last week they spent 60 minutes, basically. We know that they're going to fraud that guy with his clock, and that which silverware are we going to be using on the table? That was the whole show. And he goes, but when it comes, when as soon as I see it's available, we watch it.
Mhm.
And how obsessive it is, even though, when we talk about nothing happened in the whole episode, it doesn't matter. I got to see all these wonderful, people, Otter McDonald, uh, and they're all there, and the husband of,
Oh, yeah.
with the beard. Oh my God.
Oh, have you ever
he
seen his shirtless pics?
Yeah, but
Goodness, he's gorgeous.
but he's smooth, and I don't know if
Yeah.
that's real or not. I think he's
Oh
probably shaving.
no, no, no. He has quite a bit of hair on his chest, but he's got tattoos, so that I don't think they can show him on the
Well,
show.
because when I had seen him, they, well, so I mean, they shave these guys all the time.
Yeah.
If they don't have enough hair, then they shave them, and if they have too much hair, they shave them. It's a catch 22.
Yeah.
But he is, and it was funny because Tom Campbell was talking about how sexy he is. Tom Campbell is the producer from RuPaul's Drag Race,
Yeah.
and he's beautiful himself, by the way.
Hmm?
And let's see. Okay, we're also watching Fubar over on Netflix. That's the Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Oh.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Fortune Feimster comedy.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, she plays one of his gang, and she is so good. She's so good. I love, and who I've also seen live, by the way. She was in town just this last week for Pride,
Yeah.
and it's funny. I told Sean, I go, Fortune's in town today, and he goes, we ought to go, and I go, it's 10 o'clock at night. Where do you think she's playing? Where are we going to see her? And he's like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, because he had to work the weekend. So some,
Oh.
so I say Fortune's, and when we saw her, it's funny. We had tickets for her with the pandemic, before the pandemic hit, and so she says, I'm gonna come back and fulfill this when the pandemic's over. So it was a year later, almost, actually more than a year later, when she actually got back there. Well worth the wait. She is so good live. Just, if you get a chance to see Fortune live, you're not going to be sorry. And let's see. Oh, okay. Watched a new Netflix thing. It's Ari Shafir, America's Sweetheart. Do not watch this. You will be so offended. You know
Okay.
what a gentle, flower you are. It gets pretty. He goes after everybody, but he goes after everybody, and so, but he does it. It's a really well done show. For some reason, the backdrop was all these flowers and vines and stuff. He's on astroturf with, like pine cones on the. I couldn't figure out what maybe they're doing like Snow White or something, and said just leave the setup and he'll talk around it or something. I don't know. It was
Huh.
weird. Let's see. We started a new show. It's actually an old show, but we haven't seen it over on Netflix. A Discovery of Witches,
Oh
and this
yeah.
is this is with Matthew Good.
Yeah.
So we're enjoying that.
Good.
There's another show that I think you would really like on Netflix. It's called Trainwreck Poop Cruise, and this is about,
I've seen ads
yeah,
for that.
yeah, this is about um it's a documentary based on a cruise ship that lost power. So none, they couldn't cook any food. The toilets didn't work.
Oh.
The air conditioning didn't work. As the toilets start backing up and flowing into the aisles, I mean the hallways and stuff, moving
Mhm.
from room to room, people, it was everywhere. And it's
Oh.
Oddly enough, I don't want to see this.
No, that sounds
It's
awful.
although Netflix keeps telling me you're going to love this. We
I've
we
seen
make
ads
the
for it.
we make this documentary for you, Tom. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh,
Okay, over on Disney, we started watching Ironheart.
okay.
What was that? Okay, which is a Marvel. It's a girl Iron Man type show,
Yeah.
and it's been been pretty good. It's funny because we watched the first one, and then we started the next one a couple days later, and it was episode 3, and I go,
Hmm.
did we watch 2? And he goes, well, so we watched the recap, and we're going, okay, we didn't see any of that, and if we did, we were too drunk to watch it, because and then we watched the episode 2, and it's like, no, we never watched this. Nothing was familiar except what I saw in the recap for to watch episode 3. That was the only thing that was familiar with stuff they had just showed me. So, but it's so far it's a good show. They've got a good cast.
Okay.
um yeah, and I'll tell you, the girl who plays Natalie, who's from This Is Us, she has got the most beautiful eyes. Just yeah, I mean, it's like those the kind of eyes that just make you melt. They're just so beautiful.
Oh,
The Bear started up on Hulu, season 3, or is this 4? I think
I think it's 4, isn't
it's
it?
probably 4. Yeah. Well, it's weird. What they did, or what they do, is they bring it out right before or during the eligibility for the Emmys.
Hmm.
So since it's not finished, this season 4 isn't available till next season of the Emmys. But so what happens is you're watching season 4 and voting for season 3. And so
Yeah.
since it's fresh in your mind and you're watching it, I mean, that's why you know shoot I'm thinking of it. I got Jamie Lee Curtis won.
Oh
um
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, she deserved to win for crashing into the house on Christmas, and she did. But they had just shown the scene, where she's talking to her daughter who's ready to have a baby, and it was a fantastic episode for the both of them. But that's what they're being nominated for this year. So it's kind of clever. They do the same thing with Hacks. But it
Hmm.
comes out right before they finished up last month, so it's all fresh in your mind when you go to vote.
Yeah.
So, and let's see, I watched my favorite movie. You should know this by now.
The one with the Christmas one with Kevin Spacey and
Okay, you're totally wrong. No,
oh, okay.
it's Heaven Can Wait with
Oh, I should have known.
with
Rattled
Warren
that right
Beatty,
off. Yeah.
Julie Christie, Diane Cannon. Fantastic movie.
Oh,
Um, yeah, it was, and at the end, I just bawled again. I've seen this movie probably not hundreds of times, but a
yeah.
lot, because I used to go. It started at 2:40, and Jana got off work at 5 o'clock,
Uh,
so it's like, and I would go over to pick her up at work. So I said, well, oh God, you're not off for another 2 hours. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and sit and Heaven Can Wait until it gets done, and then you'll be off work.
yeah.
And so I would do that a lot. Um, and so, yeah, what a great movie.
Yeah.
It only won for art direction at the Oscars, even though it was nominated for a lot. It was up for Best Picture, Actor, Director. I think at least one supporting actor, supporting actress, writing, um, cinematography, music, sets. Only one sets, and which kind of reminds me of Death Becomes Her on Broadway, that only picked up a Tony for the costumes, because let's face it, you got to have a dress that smokes, that you can see through.
Right.
kind of see-through things. So you've got to be able to work around those things. And yeah, so but that's that always bothered me that it didn't win more. I think it was up against oh God, it was no, it's the one where Russian roulette. They're in Vietnam. Terrible show. Hated it. I'll look it up later.
Okay.
Yeah. But this week on Broadway, closing actually yesterday, Real Women Have Curves, not curbs. Dead Outlaw, old friends. This salute to Stephen Sondheim, and Picture of Dorian Gray, and Glenn Ross. They all closed yesterday.
Wow.
Well, the plays were scheduled to close.
Okay. Wonder what
But
he's replacing them with.
But nothing. It's because there's theaters that sit closed all the time.
Huh.
Yeah. But the musicals all were failing miserably. If you go to playbill.com and you look up grosses, you figure that most shows need to be making $900,000 to $1 million a week to pay all the bills.
Right.
And it's like Real Women Have Curves was barely making $5 million. And same thing with Dead Outlaw. Old Friends was not doing well, but Old Friends fortunately didn't have as high of a money value because it was just a salute to, and it's all Sondheim, and so you're not paying royalties all around to different areas.
Right.
And it had a limited cast. So, but it's like, oh my God, it's crazy how much is closed. We had 3 shows closed last week. Boop announced it's closing in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But the one that's strong is Death Becomes Her, and I have become obsessed with the 2 actresses, Jennifer and Megan. I mean, I loved Megan before because of Smash, but Jennifer, oh my God, I keep finding YouTube things with her in interviews, and she is honestly, she's hilarious. You know, if she wasn't a woman, she would have been a very funny hairdresser. I could tell because it's just one snaps. You know, she's ready with a funny line, and that's I love that in people. Jealous of that, but and then I ended up watching a really terrible slime tutorial on Death Becomes Her, and it was interesting. There were this must have been early, like maybe I don't know, maybe when it was in Chicago, or I don't know, because there were 3 scenes that weren't there.
Oh,
yeah. The driving the car to the hospital at the beginning of the first act, basically, that was gone, and then all of a sudden, Josh Lemon, who plays the Megan's assistant, he just disappeared. And so when he goes, "Goodbye, I'm free," that was gone. And then at the end of the show, he was there for the first act. The second act, they brought in an understudy. I don't know what was happening. They did have some problems with the when they were moving the set around at one point. That was funny. But there was something else. But I was like, wow. Oh, they didn't have the shovel fight on stage. They took the shovels off stage and started fighting. And I'm like, okay, that's different. I wonder what's going on. But yeah, so it was interesting. But I love that I got to see them on Broadway, see the show on Broadway. It's such a thrill. It's like my Wicked story. When you get to see the original cast of something, it stays with you for many, many years. Wow. So yeah. So yeah, I'm obsessed with those women, and of course we know that they do it all for the gays. So there you go. How about
That's
you?
true. That's very, very true. Well, with so many shows closing, I thought maybe Nephi was in New York doing double couponing. So, yeah. Oh well. Well, first, I wanted to point out a comedian that I recommend. I don't know. I don't think she has a full special out yet, but you could probably find some of her stuff on YouTube. Her name's Julia Scotti, and she is a transgender comedian. She's, I believe, 72. And I started watching some of her stuff on Instagram today at Julia Scotti Comedy, and she is friggin' hilarious. So I recommend giving checking her out. Also, one of our dear friends went to see Megan, the sequel, this weekend, and said it was fabulous. Said it was super funny. It has a lot of pop culture current references that just really make it stand out. And he totally recommends it.
Well, after the first one was so popular and made so cheaply that they were going to spend some money on the second one.
Yeah, definitely. And he said that that it's like almost a woman power type, thing, and she's got to go up against an evil AI and just yeah. So anyway, he says that it's really, really worth the watch and something that he will probably want to have a copy of and watch again and again. So. All right. As for me, I managed to knock out a few movies this week. Starting with The Accountant 2. I had watched the original Accountant last week, so I watched The Accountant 2 this week. Of course, it has Ben Affleck, who oof. Um, really, I mean, in the first one, he was really good, played the part super well. You maybe wanted to jump him. In this one, you were like, oof, wow, you just phoned this one in, didn't you, buddy? Um, the rest of the cast, really fun and really, really interesting. It's just your standard basic shoot 'em up, bad guy with a good heart type thing. So yeah, I would say if you're just don't have anything else to watch on a rainy Saturday or whatever, check it out. Otherwise, wait till there's a rainy Saturday. And then I was too lazy to change the Amazon basically after watching that, and it rolled right over into another movie, and it was Deep Cover, which is one of the newer things that Amazon is pushing right now. It's basically about three improv actors who get taken into doing like undercover crime work where they are put in deep cover, and well, there's all sorts of twists, and it's a comedy, but there's some really dramatic things, and well, fate just makes sure that they are okay through all their stuff. Have you seen this, by the way?
No, no.
Okay, I'd almost recommend that you see it, but if you don't, eh, you're not really gonna super miss anything, but it actually had some really fun moments, and I think it's something you personally might actually find some amusing stuff in. Not to mention it has oh, what's the gay actor who's always in the underwear commercials these days? Luke something? Luke.
I don't watch commercials, so I have no idea.
Well, you watch his other movies, Luke.
Skywalker.
Yeah, that one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's cute in it, of course, and I don't know. I would give it maybe a 3.5 out of, you know, 5. So, anyway, acted well. And then I decided to, of course, go back into my Jason Statham obsession, and I've been slowly making my way through a bunch of his movies. And I went back and watched, well, back. I watched this one called Crank, which is from the early 2000s. And basically, the storyline of it is he gets shot up with a cocktail of Chinese poisons and herbs and stuff like that. And if his heart slows down, he'll die. So he has to keep his adrenaline going at all, which means, chases and breaking in the hospital, and then he gets in a hospital gown so you can kind of see his butt here and there as he's running all over, and he has sex with his girlfriend in the middle of the town, and there while all sorts of Chinese tourists are crowded around watching it like it's, some sort of big act or whatever. Um, it was actually pretty good. Uh, Little ridiculous. He plays a bad guy, of course, but I would recommend it as a fun watch. Just grab your popcorn and a Coke and go for it. Then I watched War, which was another one of his movies from like a year later, I think. And it was one of those where his partner gets his partner's family gets killed, and he is trying to avenge his partner, and there's all sorts of twists and turns, but it was like badly done. It just wah yawn, not very good. Then I watched this one called 13. I imagine you probably haven't heard of this one. But basically, in this one, he plays a bit part bad guy who hooks up with his brother. And but the storyline isn't really necessarily about them so much as it is about this younger guy who's like maybe 20 or whatever. And of course, he's got the dad who already been through one operation. They had to mortgage their house. He's, needs another operation in the family, and then they have the little girl at home, his little sister, and oh, what are they gonna do for the family? And he finds out this other guy's gonna do something that is gonna just bring him like $1 million and make all the money, all the problems go away. Well, that guy ends up dying of a drug overdose. So he steals the invite letter that and goes off and does the thing. Well, it turns out that the thing is basically kind of well, it's 2010 or something. So frick it, spoiler alert. Basically, it's a big round circle where they all stand behind each other and shoot a gun that is basically, like one bullet in the chamber. And they just keep doing it until there's one person left. And of course, that's the person left, is the person that we follow. And I won't spoil it past then, but let's just say I felt so gross when this movie was done. It wasn't even suspenseful. It just made me feel gross. And so,
Okay.
what?
So the gay guy who does
Mhm.
the underwear commercials,
Yeah, Luke.
Luke. Do you mean Orlando Bloom?
Oh, was that Orlando Bloom? Wow, that was
Because
tragic for him. I was actually
and
thinking it
Dice
was,
and Bryce Dallas Howard. You got an all-star
yeah,
cast, and you can't remember anybody. And
no.
and and it's like, what about Sean Bean? Huh? He's a
Oh yeah,
hottie.
I knew Sean Bean.
Oh
Yeah.
Jesus, you are a mess, girl.
Well, you know what? It was so forgettable. Well, no, it wasn't horrible. It
And
just
it's a
wasn't
movie.
great. Yeah, I said it was a movie, right?
Nah, you made it feel like it was a series.
Oh no, I wouldn't even have talked about it, I don't think, but yeah, I mean, it's really popular on Netflix right now. They keep pushing it on everybody, but
Well, it's not on Netflix, it's on Amazon.
well, whatever. I knew what I was saying in my head.
Mhm.
But yeah. I didn't realize that was Orlando Bloom. Wow.
I've met him.
Huh. I know. He was a
Close
very nice
personal
guy too.
friends. Did you hear that him and Katy Perry broken up?
No. Could he not handle her going to space? She's an astronaut
Well,
now.
it has to be her because he is so kind and so friendly.
He has
And
a very nice looking body. I saw pictures.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead.
But yeah, no, I thought he was somebody else. I don't know if that means he was good acting or just the, yeah, he didn't look that great in the movie. All right, moving on. So I don't recommend 13. I just don't. And then I watched for Matinee Minutia, we watched How to Beat the High Cost of Living, which of course had Susan St. James and Jane Curtin and Jessica Lange in it. Not to mention Dabney Coleman, and there was a number of other,
Oh, it was a huge cast.
yeah, really good cast. Um, you know what? If I had seen this in the early 80s, I probably would have just thought it was absolutely fabulous. Um, Watching it now, I think there were some great performances and it was a cute movie, but it also was like these women are treated like shit by the men in their lives. They
Right.
go out, they pull off this caper. They have the brains and the ingenuity to figure out how to pull off this caper to win to get a shit ton of money to help them actually save everything about their lives and everything just to end up in the movie at the end of the movie basically it made everything great so that they could become stay-at-home moms.
Well, Jessica Lange had a hobby.
True, true, she did. But
Ye
yeah,
old antique shop. It's a hobby.
yeah, it's a hobby. If she just said it was a hobby, but yeah, no, no. Um, but I mean, the men they were happy to do all this stuff so that they could get back into bad relationships, and I'm just like, the men are treating you like shit. But then I'm like, okay, wait a minute, this as we talked about this film, it was actually originally written in 1971, and it took them 9 years to actually get it filmed and done, and then it was released in 1980. So, and they talk about in the film that it's the 70s. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, 1974, they were still trying to get women to have their be able to get their own bank accounts or credit cards. So I mean, I guess it was very acceptable then, but I was like expecting like a First Wives Club. Like they get the money and then they get even with the guys. And Jane Curtin's character, oh my God, her husband, I was waiting to see him get a comeuppance, but he never even got on screen. So anyway, it was
Yeah.
a fun movie, but just take it for the time that it was in.
Now, did you guys watch the new one?
The Mad Money.
Yeah.
Queen Latifah swears up and down that it was not a newer version of that, but
Oh
we
my
are actually gonna
God.
watch it because,
Okay.
yeah. Well,
It's
I'm
um
gonna watch it. He's
it's
already
it's
watched
yeah, it's almost like uh, it's the movie.
it.
You
Okay.
watch it and you go, this is how to beat the high cost of living.
Oh, and of course, coming out in 80, Reagan was elected that same year. And I mean, the whole thing was about the, well, the cost of living. And it was just like played right into everything that was going on when Reagan took over, and then he made worse. But we won't talk about that, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then, of course, I've been watching the Kids Baking Championship. I'm in season 4 now. And I'll tell you, last time I talked about like season 1 and 2, and I was like, wow, these kids are just genius. And I mean, they are way above anything I could even do. And they just whatever. Well, I guess they said, well, that isn't working because season 3 and 4, wow, did those kids get bad? I mean, they were bad. And then it was funny the way that some of the little girls and stuff on there, I swear it's like listening to the Peanuts cartoons and listening to like Sally and Lucy talking. And then some of them sound like little Muppets. So it's funny, but I mean, I'm also like playing games on my pad, so I'm not paying super close attention to it. But I do like to look at the judgings and the final bakes. Some of them are just bad.
I
But
hate the show.
yeah, I can see why. And there's like 11 seasons, and I'm like, I am not going to be able to make it through 11 seasons of this. So yeah.
I just hate the little girls who are, oh, and I do this and that, na 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 na.
Oh, and they're
Oh,
so uppity. And some of the little boys, like on this last one, there was like a unicorn cake challenge, and one of them was like, there were two of them that were pissed off about it because they're like, unicorns, that's not very manly. I'm like, oh, you probably have a really crappy home life, don't you? Yeah. So, and they're like, the unicorns aren't real.
see,
We can't believe in anything.
yeah, see, I'm thinking that if the boys on there are usually like, oh, good, I can use rainbows now.
Right. Yeah. That's the first two seasons. I was like, oh, y'all are just little gay boys. But now it was like, oh, ouch. You've probably been made fun of for like liking to cook. So anything that's not manly, you can't handle it. But what was the other thing I was gonna say about that? It always ends up the contestants always like boil it down to boys against girls. Like they're like, oh, all the boys are being voted out, ha ha ha, and then it's like, oh, all the girls are being voted out, ha ha ha. It's like, what? Why y'all doing that?
Because they do that on everything.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I get it on Survivor when they used to do stuff like that. Was it Survivor that did that?
Survivor has done that
Yeah.
before. Um, yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, you look at back at Big Brother, and that's because they always have to mention, well, there's never been, the end of a Big Brother where they've had, four women. Who cares?
Yeah, right. Just do good contestants. So who cares what sex they are?
Yeah, but that they did it on the challenge too. They do that. I mean,
Yeah.
anytime they can put somebody against somebody, it's supposed to make it more exciting.
I yeah, it's just the whole sex thing. It just doesn't I don't
Well,
care
it
anymore, I
doesn't it,
guess.
it doesn't play anymore because of the whole non-binary,
Yeah.
transgender. It's a different world.
Yeah, I think most of us are over it. So,
And if it's boys against girls and there's a couple gay guys, they're the ones that are they're the ones that are targeted to get rid of first.
yep.
So yeah, it's just I hate the whole, and granted a lot of it's not around anymore, but it's still there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, didn't really do much. I've just been having a lot of work and catch up and things like that to do, and yeah. So, okay. Let's get into advice. I am a gay man in my late 30s, and I've been struggling with body image. I'm overweight and have always been self-conscious about taking my shirt off at pool parties, especially around my fit and confident group of friends. They're supportive to my face, but I can't help wondering what they're saying behind my back, especially after I saw some unflattering pictures in from a past party that made me feel embarrassed and ashamed. With summer here again, the invites are rolling in and I want to enjoy myself, but I'm dreading the poolside anxiety. How can I overcome this fear and stop obsessing about what others might think of my body? You gotta just do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Yeah, I I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, it sucks, but you're not going to get thin super quick, and you just got to trust that.
Well, it doesn't matter if
Yeah,
if they get super thin, then they've got saggy tits because they've got extra skin.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
it's a no-win situation. If and maybe what you need to do is find people who are less judgmental to hang around with, or just don't go to pool
right.
parties.
Well, I mean, it doesn't sound in here like they're being judgmental, except that he worries that they might be talking behind their back. But he
Oh,
doesn't
don't
know,
worry,
well, yeah, yeah,
don't
gay
worry. They
man.
are
So,
talking behind your back.
okay.
You know it's
I'm just saying
true.
it's not in the letter, so I'm not.
No, no, but
But
it's
we
in.
all think our friends are talking behind our back about stuff like that.
Well, I can tell you they do. At least
Oh,
our friends do.
well, that's lovely. Good to know. I
Yeah.
guess I won't be taking my shirt off at the pool then.
Well, have you noticed how many times I've been shirtless at the pool parties?
What do you have to worry? Well, you have before.
Yeah, but how many times lately have I? I don't get in the pool anymore.
Well, I know, but that's just stinking thinking. We're coming up on something. You need to get in the pool. I don't
Mm-mm.
want to say
It's
need, but
only
you should.
it's going to be 81 degrees. It's going to be too cold.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I know to me, I look a hot mess. I'm sure everybody else thinks I'm a hot mess, but you know what? There was somebody else that was more of a hot mess that we used to hang around with that everybody said, "Oh my God," about, and I don't think I look that bad. So,
Wait, who
but
are you talking about?
I didn't talk mess about them. Uh,
Who?
if you think back, you'll know,
Me?
but I'm not going
I
to say
I'm
anything.
a hot mess? Is that you're saying it was me? I was worse than
Girl,
you?
no, you were the one that all the chasers were like, "Hey, daddy, hey."
Yeah, yeah, but we weren't hanging out with chasers. That was the problem.
Well, kind of, sort of.
Not really. We were hanging out with drama people, and they aren't chasers.
Yeah, I didn't get in the pool shirtless with the drama people because, yeah, they were
Those
their own
judgmental
version of.
bastards.
I know, they were their own versions of hot messes, right?
Sure.
Anyway, but we loved them.
Yeah, I would say either bite the bullet and don't give a shit what these people say, or
Exactly.
don't get in the pool.
Yeah.
You know, and or don't go to the pool parties. I mean, if all your anxiety is based just on getting pool parties, avoid pool parties.
Uh, yeah.
I'm just saying,
No, I totally understand what you're
yeah,
saying. I would be more the one to push somebody out there to say just fuck them and go do it. But yeah, that's the alternative. If it gives you that much anxiety, maybe you just need better friends. So anyway, okay. Moving on. Love it or hate it. Monopoly.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I
I
used to
love
like it. I used to like it
yeah.
until, well, one person particularly, but most, it never fails when you're playing games. Someone is obsessed with winning, and as soon as that person shows their true colors,
Mm-mm.
I'm out. I don't want to
Yeah.
play. I don't want to play games with people who have to win, and if they don't win, then the rest of the party is a funeral for their not winning.
Yeah, no, Monopoly was never my favorite. I did like the Nintendo version of Monopoly because I figured out how to win at it. Um, Especially if I'm playing solo. But yeah, other than that,
Oh,
no. Real board game Monopoly, no thanks.
yeah,
Waste
and
my
I'll
time.
tell you the perfect example of the way it affects me
Hmm.
is if you go back and you watch. I'm pretty sure it was the Carol Burnett show, not Mama's Family, but when they play Sorry, the
Yeah,
Sorry game. I mean, it's one
yeah,
of the funniest things ever, but I was anxious during it because as soon as it gets that competitive, seriously, I just want to leave. I don't want to even be there.
yeah. Yeah, there was an episode of Fresh Fields where they were playing Trivial Pursuit, and Hester would not shut the F up, and she kept leading them to pick the wrong answers. And I was just like, shut her up. Shut her up. Uh, Anyway, moving on. Yeah, no, not board game, thank you. Next up, hey Chubbs, Timothy wants to know, do you believe everyone deserves a second chance?
That was last week.
No, it wasn't.
You sure?
Yeah, last week was uh the Tom and Matt types.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did these come through? I didn't even see these.
Yeah, I had to put I last night, but I put him in this morning.
Okay. No, everybody, yeah, everyone deserves a second chance once.
Hmm I say that for the most part, everybody deserves a second chance,
I mean,
and
ideally, I mean,
yeah,
does Hitler? No, but we're going
right.
on. I know how you like to go on to extremes, but
Yeah, that's an extreme. I would say no to.
well, yeah, that would be a
Yeah,
definite.
there's somebody else that didn't deserve a second chance, and
Yeah,
where we are
true,
now.
true.
Uh,
Okay, I guess on a grander scale of things, sure.
but on a smaller thing scale, yeah, I get, yeah.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
I
as long
want
as
to
it's,
say yes, but there are times when
but
the
well,
answer
that's
is no,
because
bitch.
we're talking people who have broken laws,
Yeah,
and broken rules, and
broken
sometimes
hearts.
you just don't go back.
Yeah,
um but I would like to think that everyone deserves a second chance.
yeah. Let's see. Hey, Chubs. Timothy wants to know, have you ever felt ashamed for wanting more? More pie.
Well, food wise, yes,
Okay.
with the people we know.
Well,
um
yeah, with the people we know, yeah.
but I always had quite a bit, so I wasn't constantly wanting more. And
Mhm.
if I did want more, I wasn't, no, I wasn't ashamed of it.
Yeah. No, food wise, I may have self-shamed myself for
Oh
wanting
no. Oh
more and more and
please,
more. But
please. Our
well,
friends.
well, it says if you ever felt ashamed. So
Okay, well,
yeah. But
oh,
yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. No,
as
then
far
no.
as
I don't, I've never felt ashamed. I felt
okay,
shamed, but I haven't felt ashamed for wanting more food.
true. Yeah. But as far as wanting more, like more out of life or more out of more money and shit like that, no, I have not felt ashamed for that. Maybe unworthy, but not ashamed. Okay. Hey Chubs, Timothy wants to know, what's your most delusional I should have been the lead moment? Well, if it's delusional, I wouldn't know because I should have been the lead.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this means.
Mm-mm.
Um, I remember many a time, though it wasn't delusional, but when we sit there at the uh, Lambda players meetings,
Mm.
going, "Oh my God, I can't believe they want to do that show.
Yeah.
Really? Can we not do this? What can we say no to this person? That kind
Mm.
of stuff." But a lot of times I don't want to take the lead unless, of course, it's I'm in a play or musical, and then
Right. Well,
I
that's, I
definitely want to
think,
lead.
yeah. I think, I mean, there were a few times when I don't know if it's necessarily I should have been the lead, like in a play, but there's a few times I'm like, I should have been the one who got recognized for that happening and not that bitch that got the honor because I was the one that did it and did all the work and all that. There's been moments like that.
Well, you were the director. I wrote the play.
Oh, and I'm not talking theater wise.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
I didn't get that Emmy that somebody else who's now in my sphere got, but whatever. Not Emmy, Ellie.
Yes, I'm sitting right here. What are you talking about?
No, you know the one for Paperclip that should have been mine. You know the one time that we didn't actually even get a nomination because I don't think it even got submitted that pissed me off was for the set of trolling.
No, Trolling got nothing submitted except for best new play.
That pissed me off because that set people thought it was an actual living room.
Well, and oh, I know, no, I agree with you totally. The other thing was I talked to three of the five Ellie judges
Hmm.
for new play, and they all voted for Trolling.
And we still didn't get it.
Right.
See that was the biggest they just
And then yeah, but and then I found I because I got really curious at that
Mhm.
point because I had talked to literally because they had just come in to see Just Us Girls.
Right.
So and they're going, oh, you're the same person who wrote that show, Trolling, and they knew two of them remembered the name of the show.
Yeah.
So and I went, yeah, yeah, and she one guy goes, oh, did you win? And I went, no, no, I didn't win. And I go, it was some show uh, by a company that was closing, and the
Oh,
artistic
that's
director,
right.
our artistic director had written, and he goes, oh, that was my least favorite show.
Uh-huh.
And then I went back and I checked the rules. My God, I can't believe we're talking like this. I went back and checked the rules, and it said it's the voting by the judges, the five judges, and the committee.
The committee had their own little voice so they could rig it.
Mm-hmm.
That just
Point it in the
pisses
right
me off.
direction
Yeah.
that they wanted.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Give them if they're closing, give them a special award, but don't.
A citation thanking
Yeah.
them for all their hard work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, I don't mind talking like this. It's been long enough and we have this
oh no, no.
grievance
I hate talking this way because it makes it sound like, oh, I should have won that award. I sound like Shelley Winters when she didn't win for Best Actress in 1952. It's like over. It's over.
Well, yeah, but we're answering Timothy's questions, so I
That's
think
true.
that's a good
Okay.
point. But
All
yeah.
right. All
But I
right.
don't think that's delusional. That was spot on. So, okay. I remember mall culture.
What does that mean?
At 80s, like you go to the mall, like
Oh
for all
no,
the movies that they would do all around the mall and
like Fast Times.
yeah, all that stuff.
We'll see, because I at that point I was working in a mall,
Oh,
so the my biggest mall culture would be what am I going to get for lunch at the food court?
sounds
They
good to
had that
me.
they had this really great chicken. You got three chicken thighs, boneless chicken thighs, teriyaki with rice and vegetables, and it was like $4. I ate
Wow.
there a lot.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, but and of course actually I was working at the mall from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, so that
Oh,
kind of was funny too. But I never had that, hanging out at the mall with my friends. The only
yeah.
time we hung out at the mall with our friends was um, when we had summer drama at San Juan High School. So we had to take bus 20 that went to Sunrise Mall, and then we get on, I think it was 20, and then we get on another bus that went to San Juan. So
Mm.
we had to kind of do the exchange there. So we'd be waiting for the next bus either to go to school or to go home. But that's otherwise I didn't. I worked at malls. I didn't hang out at malls.
Yeah. The times that I remember being at malls is when we had clients when I worked at the group home, we would take a bunch of the clients to see movies and then they would walk around the mall. They didn't actually shop or anything, but that and Christmas time. we'd go to the mall. I actually tried to get a job at one of the mall places that sold like science toys and stuff for kids. It was a big group exercise where they sat you in a big circle and you had to do the whole, okay, here's a toy that you know nothing about. Sell it to me. I I tried, but I just was not that person, and I was too damn shy for that type of thing too.
So you couldn't do your deep cover and get
Yeah.
and and
No.
and get your act your way through it.
No, I probably could do a lot better now because now I can actually kind of make myself shed that shyness. But back then, ugh, no, I couldn't. I was not me. Nope. And then what? Oh, but when I was a little kid, oh, well, hello. There was a ghost on your shoulder dancing. So when I was a little kid, my mom used to take me to the mall and we would get an orange Julius. And that was kind of our thing, is to stop and get an orange Julius and then go home. So yeah,
And we did like Farrell's that was in the Sunrise Mall.
that sounds familiar.
Planes like to land in it.
Okay. Uh,
You've been to Farrell's, remember? It was right up.
oh, that's right. The ice cream place where they
Yeah,
sang me happy birthday and embarrassed me. Oh, and then one of the waiters ended up being somebody I went to college with, and I swear I could not recognize who the hell he was until he actually told me his name, and then I couldn't believe I forgot it.
yeah.
Uh,
They used to do a thing at Farrell's where um, they had this. It's kind of like a uh, what do you call the thing? You put people on a gurney, but it's you hand held gurney. What is that called?
oh, oh,
Anyway, so
yeah, no idea.
they get this
Uh,
big it was a big bowl, and they'd
mm,
fill it up with every different kind of ice cream. They had like 40 different kinds of ice cream, so you get a scoop of every single ice cream,
wow.
and then the guys would put it around their shoulders, and they'd run it around the store. Oh, we've got a whatever it was called, and they'd ring the bells, and it was. And I actually saw it where the bowl flipped out and ice cream went flying. It was great.
See, that's just too much for me. It's too much in like,
Stretcher,
yeah.
stretcher. It was in a stretcher, but
Okay.
they'd put it on their shoulders as they'd run around, and the bowl was in between them,
Uh,
and they took a wrong turn and it flipped, and it was great.
okay. All right. Well, it's time for what's in your lunchbox, and we have a
Oh,
couple lunch boxes here, but we got one in kind of at the last minute that I wanted to do real quick, and that was from, hey guys, Mark here. What's in my actual lunchbox? Every day for work, Scott makes me my lunch, and for me, every night before I go home. Okay, wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. Scott makes lunch for me every night before I go to work in the morning. I have a sandwich. I used Dave's bread from Costco. I have mayonnaise and mustard. Very lightly spread two pieces of turkey, sliced a piece of Tillamook cheese, the good stuff, a bag of Simply Cheetos white cheddar, a nice piece of chocolate with caramel in the middle, and a Pepsi for my perfect lunch. And I will, of course, send that image to Tom later so that he can take a look at it. But yum. Not crazy about the Diet Pepsi, but the rest of it, yum. Now let's go over here to what Mr. Moose sent in. And he said, this is a brownie cookie mix from Ghirardelli. Haven't made it before. Think I should have spread the cookie part out more before baking. But I'm learning. Chocolate and chocolate chip brownies topped with chocolate chip cookie dough. Smells good. This is going to be dessert night. Grilling marinated shrimp for dinner. And oh my gosh, that picture of
Yeah, it was like going. It looks like potato chips with brownies on top of brownies. I wasn't sure, so
uh
I'm glad that yeah, it sounds good. I mean, why wouldn't it be?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Then ordered Singapore black pepper chicken today. Had promise but disappointed. Uh,
Really?
yeah, there was
Oh,
spice in there that I didn't like. I still
oh,
ate it.
okay. Because it
Uh,
looks brilliant.
yeah. And then found a grilled shrimp recipe this morning I wanted to try. Super simple with juice, soy sauce, and a few other things. Tasted really good. Served the shrimp with green beans seasoned with red pepper and yellow rice. I'll cook this again. I hope you do.
Me too.
Brilliant. No. All right. And then Tom sent in a couple photos.
Okay, I got to figure out what I
Odie's.
sit in. Okay. The first one, well, the first two is this Thai restaurant that we go to over in Rancho, and they have a $12 lunch, and you get
Wow.
so much food.
Mm.
And this was the first one was Sean's. Yeah, the first one's Sean's because that is oh wait, no, maybe that one's mine. Anyway, one's drunken noodles and the other is like a another noodle thing. It was really good. It
Okay.
doesn't matter. They are
Ah,
both really tasty.
ah,
And then the last one, um, I made a traditional spinach salad,
mm.
which is just egg, a hard-boiled egg, bacon, and then the spinach. I used the balsamic Italian dressing because I didn't want to make up the traditional dressing, which is bacon fat.
Oh, yeah.
It's bacon fat, sugar, and I think just like red wine vinegar, and it's really good.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's yeah, yeah. But it was I like this, and because I've been craving spinach lately.
Oh, that's good. I got spinach. Okay. Well then, I
Ooh,
put in a little something here. So me and my friend Jason, actually I should say our friend Jason, went over to, let me see, the Great Greek Mediterranean Grill, which is over here at Crocker.
ugh. Okay, I've been
I
there.
know, right? So, but this, I don't even remember what the name of it is, but
It's a kebab.
yeah, it was a lamb kebab, and then we had it on rice, which also we also had garbanzo beans and fettuccine
Cucumbers,
and cucumbers and the
olives,
yes, but it was the
peppers.
red ugh, olives, the ones that make you go ooh.
All olives make me go ooh.
Yeah, I know for you, but and then there was some tomatoes and lettuce and but it was served on the Mediterranean rice instead of I don't know whatever the other stuff they serve it on was. And it was really good, but I only made it about halfway through and then the guy came and like took it away. So, but I ate all the lamb, so now I can definitively say yes, I have had lamb. It was good. No question, because I'm always like, I think I've had it, but now I'm like, yeah, I've had it and it was good.
Yeah, we had lamb twice this week, only because we
Oh,
had so much left over. We had it for the second night. But we like lamb a lot.
mm.
And
Yeah,
I don't understand. They go, "Oh, it's so gamey," and I'm like,
I
"How is
didn't
it
get that at
gamey?"
all. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
maybe
it's
it's not
only
cooked right.
or it's old. Or
Maybe.
I know that my mother used to always call it lamb, but I think she was actually using mutton, which is
Uh,
sheep.
yeah.
So I think it's when because the lamb is the baby.
Uh,
Yum
I
yum.
don't even like
Um,
thinking about it, but I wanted to try it, so I knew for
it,
sure.
right, and so when you get because I remember they were like the chops were big, so it had to be a sheep, and it smelled
Mm.
like it smelled like you were cooking an old shoe.
Okay.
Like the insert of an old shoe.
Yeah.
It was not good, but otherwise, but now I'm like, I love lamb.
Yeah.
Mm.
We also had some hummus. I don't know if it was a particular type, but it was a really good hummus.
Well, hummus is just the garbanzo beans,
Right.
and then the whatchamacallit, tahini and olive oil and some sort of like garlic or onion or
Yeah, there you go.
some.
I think it was probably a garlic then,
Yeah, well,
but it was
that's kind
really
of
good.
that's a normal hummus.
Yeah. I'm usually when I go to these restaurants like this that are kind of seem more of a strip mall type Greek place, I'm usually always disappointed. This was the first time I actually went, oh, that was good. So,
Yeah, I got the burger and it came with that
oh,
the yogurt mixture on it, and
yeah.
it was too much. As soon as I bit into it, it was all over my hands. It's all over the plate. It's like, why would you put so much? Wait, are we being pranked? There's just no point. And of course I've got facial hair, so it's all over my
Oh,
face.
yeah.
Sean had something different, but he had the same
Experience.
yogurt
Yeah.
experience to the point of where he's looking for napkins with hands covered in it, and it was.
Uh,
But actually, if you want to try a good place over there, try the dumpling place.
Everybody says that, and then Lurie Dean, our dear sweet neighbor, who is the connoisseur of dumplings, didn't like it.
Okay, they sat there. You actually call to order, and they make the dumplings
Oh,
up.
really?
Yeah, and we just got two different kinds of dumplings, and you got like 8 pieces of each,
Oh, yeah.
and that was it. That's all we had and it was because it was so filling.
You know what I really want to go back to is the hot wings place where on the 80-cent Tuesdays or whatever it is.
Monday and Tuesday.
We went for lunch with my Aunt Kendall there, and it was so good. Anyway.
That's
Yeah.
usually where we go after the show.
Oh, lucky yo.
Well, because it's 85 cent Monday.
Yeah. I wonder if they, oh, no, it'd probably not even be worth it to go door dashing. Anyway, moving on. Too expensive. See what's in your lunchbox, by the way. You can see all the photos that we just talked about. Thank you to Tom and to Mr. Moose and to Mr. Mark and Scott. Thank you guys so much for submitting to that. Submit to me. Uh, anyway, so find that at facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Also, email us things for the show. Tell us what's in your lunchbox or an I remember topic or a hey Chubs, whatever. Send it to us at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. They will be on hiatus for the next several weeks, however.
I'm not on vacation until the end of July, so it's not me.
Not you. No, it's the other guy. So yeah. And then you can always find my other projects at justkisstheguy.com, and the new Matinee Minutia should be out pretty soon over at matineeminutia.com. And find all of our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. And of course, don't forget.
Yeah, if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe.
Yes.
And you can watch me roll my eyes at things Matt says. It's very exciting.
It's a lot of that while I listen intuitively and innocently like a little lamb. Not
Oh,
much.
a little tasty lamb.
Yes, that's what he used to call me.
Ugh.
Anyway, all right, moving on.
God.
We love y'all, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.